Hello world, and welcome back to another episode of the series which asks what is at the end of every metro line in Shanghai. Maybe I'm the only person that asked that question, but that doesn't matter. It's a lovely, sunny, albeit slightly windy day here. And today we're taking Line 3 to Shanghai's industrial north, following the route of China's first railway. So, let's get on board.
Did you ever look at a map and wonder, where are these places? What's out there? Well, maybe it's just me, but I decided it's time to find out. I'm travelling to the end of every metro line in Shanghai in search of the interesting, the extraordinary, and the unusual. So, let's go to the end of the line.
Back at the start of this series, I said I was expecting three things: residential estates, which I found, industrial wastelands, and lovely nature. Now, I haven't found any lovely nature just yet, and today I'm hoping to find some industrial wastelands. Now, the north of Shanghai is quite industrialised, but I've heard that a lot of those factories have been closed down and shifted outside Shanghai, so I'll be interested to see what I can find. First, we're here at the starting point, Shanghai South Railway Station.
We start at Shanghai South Railway Station before skirting around central Shanghai, past Zhongshan Park up to Shanghai Railway Station, where we then turn on the path of China's first railway into Shanghai's industrial north, going all the way up to the terminus at North Jiangyang Road.
So here we are, Shanghai South Railway Station. This UFO of a building is the terminus for trains going to southern parts of China, so Hangzhou, Xiamen, Guangzhou, places like that. It's a fairly quiet area. We've got some residential estates on this side of the railway station. On the other side there behind me is a bit of more commercial area, some offices and tower blocks, so yeah. And so here it is from the inside, which is quite impressive. Now, being the slower and cheaper trains, you will get a different type of passenger here than, say, on the bullet trains. And even though they might be slightly less comfortable, the slow trains are an incredible experience, definitely very memorable. So here's a bit of footage I prepared earlier. So now it's time to hit the metro. So with the exception of the second last station, Line 3 is almost entirely elevated, which means you get a great view into the underbelly of the city, as my friend put it. So this part of Line 3 was built on the route of the Shanghai-Hangzhou Railway, the inner circle which went from Shanghai South Railway Station and connected to the railways at Shanghai Railway Station. And this part of Line 3 is shared with Line 4, so there will be a couple more places on this part of the line which I'll get to next episode. Zhongshan Park was first established as a private garden for a British property developer before being incorporated as a public park by the Shanghai Municipal Council in 1914. was then renamed Zhongshan Park in 1944 after Sun Yat-sen. And most towns and cities around China, there will be something named Zhongshan. So even if part of it is being borrowed for the construction site of a road tunnel, as you can see behind me, it's still a lovely park. There's quite a few people out here today. Beautiful day, but it's not quite as crowded as I'd expected. Now, as I saw on my Woosung Park vlog, I'll put the link up here, no trip to a park in China would be complete without bringing your tent. So aside from the occasional rumble of a metro train in the distance, it's really lovely and peaceful here. Beautiful oasis amid all the hustle and bustle of fairly central Shanghai. But talking of the metro, it's time to get back there and continue our journey. So behind me is the carriage sidings for Shanghai Railway Station, which is just one stop back further up the line. But just on the other side of the carriage sidings there is the Shanghai Railway Museum. So I decided to go and have a quick look, but have heard mixed reviews, so we'll see how it is. Now, for a railway museum, there isn't that much railway here. At least the aviation museum on line 1 had some planes. We have this locomotive here and a large one there behind me. But it doesn't matter, because here this building was the original main railway station in Shanghai. It was moved down to the current location in the late 1980s. It was from near here that the first railway in China was built in 1876, running up to Woosung. It was called the Woosung Road. That only lasted for a year before it was shut down and dismantled. Then in 1898, it was basically rebuilt on the same path from here up to Woosung, which is on the lower reaches of the Huangpu River near where it meets the Yangtze. That lasted until 1997, when it too was closed down for the construction of Line 3. So the current Line 3 runs on the path of these two previous railways. But now it's time for us to continue our journey following the old Woosung Road and head up Line 3 to the north. So here at Baoshan Road is where lines 3 and 4 diverge. Line 4 continues around the loop, and line 3, which we're just about to get on, heads north. So, let's go. Zhanghuabang, and most of the scenery up to here was residential estates. But just down the line, it suddenly turned industrial, and here is where the terminus of the original Woosung Road was, plus its replacement that got built on the same alignment. It looks fairly industrial, and just over there is one part of the big Shanghai port. This is on the lower reaches of the Huangpu River, the same river that flows through the middle of Shanghai. And obviously being close to the port is why the railway was built here in the first place. And we are quite close to the mouth of the Huangpu River where it then goes into the Yangtze. There's also a lot of containers on the other side. I'll go and check that out.
The semi-trailer Grand Prix in full swing.
So, welcome to industrial Shanghai. There's not a lot to it really. Obviously this road viaduct, dominating port, containers.
Yeah, I think the view from the metro station was better.
While studying the satellite images, doing my research, I did see that behind this pile of containers is what looks to be a quite large steel refinery. And that would be interesting, definitely under the industrial wasteland label. But at the end of the line is what looks to be an even larger steel refinery. And I think both of them have been closed down because Shanghai in the last few years has been shifting out most of its heavy industry to other parts of China, mostly to cut down on pollution. So I've got no idea what we're going to see at the end of the line. I doubt it's going to be open for inspection, but I'm definitely interested to find out. So while the original 1876 railway finished at Zhanghuabang, where we just were, at the next station on, here at Songbin Road, we have this small memorial, which is where the terminus of the rebuilt 1896 railway was. This is the railway that was in operation up until 1997, and some parts of it are still freight railways to service the docks. And at least the first railway in China is still pretty much a railway. The first railway in Australia is mostly still a tram line, but they did build a giant big casino in the way. So while this might be the end of the line for the 1896 Shanghai to Woosung Railway, it's not the end of the line for the metro. So I'm going to head back to the station, jump on the train, and we'll go and see if we can see any of this steel refinery, closed or not. So here we are, North Jiangyang Road. We've made it. There's the metro station behind me, and behind that, as far as I could tell from the satellite image, is just one corner of the giant steel refinery site. Now over there, on this side, we've got some more residential tower block estates. I'm assuming that a lot of the residents here would have worked for the steel refinery. It would make sense. Now I'm not quite sure where's the best place to try and have a look at this steel refinery. As far as I can tell on the satellite, there are some roads that go through, but I have no idea if they're public or not. But from what I can see, it seems like the best place would be the main entrance, which is back at the previous metro station. So even though this is the end of the line, it's not quite the end of the video. I'm going to take the train back to the previous station, jump out there and see if I can have a look at anything. So that bit I said at the start about line 3 being almost entirely elevated except for one station. Well, this is that station. Tieli Road. Here we are. Let's see if I can find a hire bike to explore on. Yep, this one. Bao Steel head offices. So unsurprisingly enough, there's a gate, there's guards, so this looks like the end of the line. But it's been fun, I've enjoyed it. Pretty much it for line 3 here at the Baoshan Steel plant. Stay tuned, there'll be more coming soon. Line 4 of course being the circle line, so I'm still deciding how I'm going to do the end of that line. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, hit the like button, drop your comments. Until then, bye now.